Hi there, listeners. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to apologize for my microphone quality in this podcast. I'd gone through and made sure all my levels were good, and then forgot to save the settings, because I'm a dumbass. Because of this, my microphone recorded really hot compared to Josh's. I got the levels matched pretty well, but my voice quality is quite honestly pretty shit in this episode. For that, I apologize. Now, on with the show.
Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine.
Ladies and fur fags, it's BrainDeath. Fucking A. Yeah, don't sound so enthusiastic.
I was gonna say you can't get rid of us that easily, but
Nah. No, we're oh man.
apparently. not a brain death, just normal, lung failure over here.
Yeah, normal regular dying. Yeah, we're
I guess technically brain death would be a part of that.
yeah. That is essentially what killed Tom Petty. Thoughts and prayers.
Oh God.
Never too soon. It's only too soon. It's only ever too soon. 5 seconds before it happens.
Oh man, I'm cool with that rule of thumb.
Speaking of 5 seconds before it happens, our topic. I don't even know why I thought that was a decent segue, but whatever. Fuck it. We'll go with it. Probably because in my head 5 seconds is like the average furry sex life.
Yeah. Fuck.
So, yeah. We're going to be talking about some of the furry dating websites out there. Now, I will say when we first started throwing this idea around, it started out as like a lighthearted kind of just, yeah, fuck it, we'll sign up for a couple of them, message a few people, just kind of dick around, see if we can find anything fucking fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was a little bit more in tune with like some of the we thought it was going to be a little bit more in tune with some of the older stuff we used to do that was a little bit less serious than some of the more recent stuff, and I guess we were just wrong.
Yeah, because we got to digging a little bit on a couple of them in particular. Oh my God, there's some shit there.
Let's be honest though. It was mostly you that dug into the really sketchy bullshit that's happened on some of these fucking websites.
Yeah. Because I hate myself. That's just what I do. Jesus. So, let's just kind of break this down a little bit. In our research, I've kind of come to the realization that there's really only 3 different types of dating websites out there, geared specifically to furries. You got free sites that are, generally just legit, that from everything I can tell have actually, produced results for people. I'm sure those results are few and far between, but they're there. That's what counts.
I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's probably the same for ordinary dating websites. How many horror stories have you heard?
Oh, man. Right? Just
You
throw
know,
the...
looks like your profile picture. You look like Danny DeVito. Oh my god, you are Danny DeVito.
Yeah, you got those sites like Pounced, you got Fur Pile, you know, shit like that. You have the weird offshoot sites that are free, but like they're either so niche or they're so just completely batshit that they don't really result in anything but your sides going into orbit just about. Furzu immediately springs to mind. That is a clusterfuck in and of itself. Researching this, and I don't know why I didn't think this was a thing beforehand, but there is a furry subreddit specifically for, like, finding and dating people. And it is...
Oh god.
It is every bit... It is...
By your powers combined, I am Captain Autist.
It is every bit as bad as you would think a furry dating subreddit would be. The third type, which really kind of made me sit up and pay attention, though, was there's a couple of very prominent scam sites out there that looked at a certain subsect of the furry fandom, said, those are a bunch of lonely fucks. I bet you we can get some money out of them without having to put anything in return. And sure enough, they did.
Yeah, it's just like, it makes you wonder, like, how niche and heartless do you have to be to make a scam site that targets what is arguably the second loneliest group of people in the first world, aside from bronies? It's just so savage, man. Like, I almost respect it.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that's the three major groups, you know, free, somewhat legitimate dating sites for fur fags, that if that's a weird group of dating. But, you know, like something legitimate. It actually seems to be producing something real, has results. Just offshoot stuff that is pretty much good for nothing significant other than some shit flinging and some laughter. And then, of course, as Ed just last stated, that the scam sites, those are the ones he seemed to really dig into a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. So, we're going to start with scam sites first, because I want to try and end on, you know, at least somewhat of a positive note.
Yeah, you want to like kind of go over them in reverse order.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of websites, two, you know, really in particular that fall into the scam category. They are Furry Mate and Fur Fling. Now, I had heard of both of these, like, when they came out. Fur Fling was immediately sent to the bottom of the pile as, you know, just a bullshit site. To give you an idea of how low Fur Fling's reputation is, I I signed up for a few of these sites using the BrainDeath email account. Just bullshit fake names, you know. Just to putz around, see what I could find. Maybe message a few people.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you were wondering, yes, Ed is a masochist, so yeah.
I probably signed up for, 5 or 6 different websites. Furfling was the only one of those sites whose confirmation email was sent directly to the spam folder.
Like, let's be honest, all of them probably should have been. To the void with you.
We see you registering for, at that point, you would think, Gmail or something would, step in. We see you registering for an alarming number of furry dating websites. Can we interest you in Tinder instead? So...
Dude, I get spam in my normal inbox all the fucking time. That email from the Nigerian prince that wants to give me a couple $1 million made it through that filter, but fucking Furfling did it.
Like I said, Furfling was, pretty much immediately written off as, you sign up for it, and it says, okay, well, in order to message this person, you need to pay us so much money. And anybody with two functioning brain cells to bang together is going to look at that and say, nah, I'm good.
Well, we are talking about furries here. So that is...
Well, and that's where the next part of their campaign comes in. With Furfling, I noticed that when it became obvious I wasn't going to give them money right away, I started getting emails in the account saying, "Hey, this sexy female furry wants to chat with you. They sent you a message."
Oh.
And
oh shit, did you?
Yeah. And you would okay, well, whatever, I'll go check it out. And you open the email and you go to the inbox on Furfling, and I don't know where they're getting these pictures or anything, but they're pretty convincing. It's either someone's persona or some moderately attractive woman in the profile picture, and it's like, hey, or hey, I saw you're in my city, shit like that in the message title lines. But in order to see the rest of the message, you got to pay them.
What? They would actually show you the first part of the message, but...
Well, they would show you, the title of the message,
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, if you signed up for Furfling, if you signed up for Furfling, basically all you were doing was giving them your email. They gave you access to a severely crippled account that you had to pay to be able to fucking use.
You got these emails letting you know that people were trying to contact you on the site, but I'm getting the distinct impression that these messages they were notifying you about were most likely not from actual human beings.
Yeah, that was something that they came under fire for, was basically using bots to message these people to make them think that, oh, hey, real people are messaging me. Let me give this site my money so that I can talk to these people. And they're just bots, you know.
That's kind of the impression I was getting from the direction this has been going. That's not particularly uncommon, but that's still pretty fucking bottom rung scummy. If I'm honest.
Well, I mean, Furfling, for all intents and purposes, has been... Goddamn. Furfling, for all intents and purposes, has been a pretty scummy website, company, whatever you want to fucking call them. As far as any aspect of them, like, check if you got the chat open, I'm about to link you to a tweet. I want you to read the tweet, look at the picture, and then read the replies, because I saw this and about shit myself.
Hook up with a furry near you. Check us out at furfling.com. Dating site for furries, unknown artists. What? That looks like art, kind of. Why are you using my image? Hello, this is the unknown artist speaking. I do not appreciate you using my artwork without my permission. Oh god, did they respond to this person? Please tell me they did.
No. It's
yeah, both the artist and the person whose character they were using. Like, hold up. What you talking about, unknown artist, motherfucker?
And of course, the last tweet in the chain is just die, directed at Furfling.
Yeah, that sounds like furry Twitter. I mean, especially 2017.
Right.
Oh man, that's just kind of sad, honestly.
They have a tweet that's like, if you're a furry artist, hook up with a sexy furry from furfling.com, and they have like a drawing tutorial as the image. Like, nigga, what are you doing?
I'm looking like through their tweets. I had the Twitter pulled up, but I figured I'd look through some of the more recent ones. And based off that one you sent and some of this, these tweets strike me as having been written by like a 40-year-old like woman out there somewhere who isn't married but has a boyfriend and probably has like a kid out of wedlock. And doesn't know isn't a furry at all in any way, shape, or form, but has like read the Wikipedia about them and done a little like research, and now they're trying to tweet and like appeal to furries. It's like that's just, I don't know. That's really an oddly specific example, but that is just.
But no, you can. I know I can personally, like, see that in my head. Like, I know exactly the type of person you're talking about.
I just vibe I'm getting from this shit, man. Like,
well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, because, I mean, you look at the promotional artwork and you're like, yeah, no wonder you're stealing other people's images. Because holy fuck, that shit's atrocious. And it does. It looks like they got like one of the prominent, like, maybe not prominent, like one of the C-level 90s artists from the fandom to draw their fucking promotional art.
like, The fact that you can specify that like 90s style is kind of it's true.
It's like when furry art was really taking off, but people were still trying to figure out exactly how to do it.
It's like the sticker I just sent you in capital.
How do you do, fellow fur fags? I just love that, like, their Twitter, like, they even tweeted out a Vivzy Pop image, and that got, like, 1 fave.
This Twitter feed is even more dead and inactive in terms of, like, actual traffic than mine. That's fucking impressive. Like, if you wanted to bring this feed to life, you would need, like, a fucking Manny Marco Lich King to like, yeah, this is pretty impressive, but not in a good way. Oh, look, they were using there's another artist who they didn't credit, Silver Benny, using one of their
Yeah, they do that a lot. I would say about 75% of their tweets contain the phrase unknown artist.
Even when it's not relevant, just to cover their ass.
Right? It's like they tweet a meme, unknown artist.
Oh, them rare Pepes, man. Oh my god. The July 5th tweet with, do we have to link this fucking particular in the description? I'm fucking dying. Holy shit.
I just love that it's a day late, too. That's the best part. Like, I was gonna say, like, they couldn't even be bothered to tweet on July 4th, but they did. Like,
yeah. Actually, let's be honest. I mean, maybe I'm a little different here because I am a relatively patriotic fellow. I would much rather have in my news feed on the 4th of fucking July in America, I would much rather have the tweet they put out on the 4th than whatever it is they tweeted the day after. The flag! Look at it!
It doesn't even have any stars.
It doesn't have any stars. There's a, like, gap. The stripe, and then...
No, you know what this is? You know what that flag behind there is? It's like if you gave a Saudi Arabian child MS Paint and told them to draw what they think the American flag looks like. Well, I know there's like a big blue square on like the left-hand side, and then there's like candy cane all up and down it.
all it's missing is like uneven stripes. But look at the flag on the bikini bottom or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be that the rabbit is wearing. It's not even drawn wrong in the same way. They're both drawn wrong. They're not the same. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it just now struck me that that's supposed to sort of look like Judy Hopps.
No, that straight up is Judy Hopps.
You know,
like,
I watched that movie myself, and that is... Okay. I need to rewatch that movie just to get this image out of my head.
No, you need to rewatch that Tim McVeigh video I made.
Holy shit. You're talking about the Spotify one? My name is Tim McVeigh. Oh, I'm say.
Try everything.
Fuck. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna retweet this fucking July. I'm just gonna. I don't shitpost as often as I should. This is perfect.
Yeah, you gotta get on my level of shitposting on Twitter, dude. Have you been keeping up with that at all, or?
I have not been paying a whole hell of a lot of attention to Twitter over the last month. Ever since I moved, I've been kind of like. And
I actually had to put the brakes on after I tweeted that horse dildo at that at that fucking anime site.
I couldn't believe I fucking did that, but at the same time I fucking can. Dude, if I really want to catch up to you in like the levels of shit, all I have to do is find my way back into like some of the alt-right furry chats. These memes they spew, like, oh god. My Twitter account would either completely implode to the point that it created an actual black hole temporarily, or it would explode. One of the two would happen.
All I know is that the only thing my Twitter has been today is that fucking Szechuan sauce.
God.
All that's been in my fucking feed.
Oh no. Why are there so many memes that come from Rick and Morty, and why are they all so bad?
I have no idea. I do think that it's super fucking funny that there are people spending an entire day trying to find a chicken McNugget sauce because a TV show told them it was good.
I'm kind of mind blown by it, frankly. Like I don't understand. And it wasn't even like that relevant to the show. It was just one little plot device that was supposed to be moderately funny. Like we're getting off topic, I know, but like it just confuses me. It's just fucking Szechuan sauce. I thought that shit was only around in like the 90s and just for like a short period. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, like it was a promotional sauce for fucking Mulan.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead fucking serious, dude.
Oh, Jesus. You fucking Mulan. Oh. Wow. Can you imagine how, quote-unquote, problematic that would be these days?
Right? But no, we're all flipping out about it. And the best part is, how many of the people like freaking out that have to find it know that's why it was even a thing in the first place?
Oh, I didn't know that until just fucking now, so I guarantee you none of them do. Get back. There is probably like one, maybe two people out there that are, and they also are the same people that have a closet that has been turned into a impromptu veritable shrine to Mulan, the movie. The same people that threaten to kill themselves if they cast a shitload of white guys to do the live action one.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad they fucking didn't, though. That would have been so boring.
Right?
But
boring like this fucking Twitter feed. Bringing it back around on topic.
Yeah, we only went a little bit off topic. Fucking sauce. But, yeah, so I am going to finish up this retweet of that 4th of July thing that was posted, and I think that is the last I will ever visit this fucking disaster.
But yeah. So we're already starting to see a pattern of just really shitty behavior. Speaking of shitty behavior, Dragoneer was behind these guys.
Oh, this is the one that Dragoneer was involved with then. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that Dragoneer more or less endorsed. Like, he vouched for him.
Is it appropriate to say in this particular kind of case, basically shill?
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. No, I think that's
appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate. Yeah. Yeah. So Dragoneer's actual quote was in a reply on Reddit, I think. Someone asking, hey, is fur fleeing actually legit, or is it a scam? Dragoneer pops on and says, verbatim, I'm looking at the thread, "They are legit. I know the people who run it behind the scenes, and they've even contacted FA regarding advertising, but we turned them down. Can't say more than that, but they are legit." That, not exactly a ringing endorsement, like, oh yeah, no, they're awesome, you should pay them. We don't want anything to do with them, but yeah, you should pay them.
In that particular thread, did anybody follow up with questions asking why exactly they wouldn't allow them to advertise or wouldn't sell them ad space on the site? Because, I mean,
yeah.
we all know there isn't a particularly high bar when it comes to what ad space for Infinity would.
But you're gonna love this one. Someone says, "Hi, Dragoneer. I looked up this topic because I was wondering about dating sites and what policies are for advertising on FA. Can you tell me why they were turned down?"
Oh, perfect.
Dragoneer FA replies, "The site's intent is a bit more than just dating, in quotes. Didn't quite feel that's appropriate for FA's advertising guidelines. Dating sites aren't an issue. We do advertise Furry Mate, for example. And while we have no personal issue with fur fleeing, I didn't feel that it falls in line with FA's advertising guidelines."
All right. Okay, that could maybe be near trying to drop a little bit of a nudge, hint, hint type thing without actually saying anything, because we know that some of the stuff advertised on FA's ad space is a little bit more than just, let's say, dating levels of family friendly. Maybe that was near trying to drop a little bit of a hint there, but I don't know.
Yeah. I do like the fact that he brings up that they advertise Furry Mate. Because as I was going through this, as I had said, I knew about Furry Mate. Furry Mate was weird when it first came out. Like, it was supposed to be the first legit dating site for furries.
I think I remember it vaguely.
Yeah, like, it just got rolled out hard. Like, if I'm not mistaken, their servers like crashed upon like the site's launch.
Well,
because they were
popular furry website on the internet has a bit of a reputation for the whole servers crashing thing. So that's what furry websites do.
Yeah, but Furry Mate was played completely legitimate. You know, hey, come here, find your partner for life, your mate for life. You know, everything's great and wonderful. So, as I said, I signed up for several of these websites. Furry Mate was one of them. And I noticed, because I signed up for Furfling first, because why the fuck wouldn't I? That's like the pinnacle of just shit. But when I signed up for Furry Mate for this podcast, I noticed that Furry Mate's information, like register form, was the exact same as Furfling's, just with a different color scheme, to the point where it was auto-filling my fucking responses.
Whoa, what? You fucking serious?
I'm dead serious. So I went and I did a little bit more digging, and sure enough, Furry Mate and Furfling are both owned by the same company.
Oh.
Or owned by the same people, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not just a little bit telling, is it? You know? Sure, it's just a coincidence. They're not the same entity, I'm sure. Sure.
Yeah, of course not.
Also, just as a quick side note, I don't know what it is about the main page of Furry Mate, but it gives me this, like, low-budget Christian dating website vibe, where, like, they employed someone whose main experience in IT and web design was, like, mostly in the 90s.
Yeah, it very much has like the old.
Actually, I should revive. I said it gave me like a low budget Christian dating site, but looking at Christian Mingle right now, it like fucking Furry Mate BTFO, man, like just go the fuck out. Christian Mingle, just looking at their page, it's a fucking leagues. Oh my god, Christian Beagle is on the Android Google Play app. What the fuck?
Hell yeah!
Google Play apps for Jesus.
It's like the old VHT boards or whatever.
VCL?
Nah.
VHT.
Yeah, it was a style of forum, basically that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks a lot like fucking like early 2000s kind of like
Online forums, yeah. It really reminds me a lot of those. It's pretty fucking awful. I do like that they have down at the bottom they have this. Keep in mind, they have at the very, very bottom is where they keep their success stories tab.
It is down there with the about us, the homes, the terms of service,
Success stories.
Yeah, success stories. Oh man. I'm sorry, Mushy Mutt. We just totally slammed the shit out of your webpage design, but let's be fair. This is
I don't think Mushy did the page design. I think it was just the art,
the
main image design.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to phrase it. Then, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, that caught me off guard too because of the placement and the phrasing.
Yeah. And it's also even lower. So, like, the credit for the artwork or whatever that they have used is even lower down, further down into the bowels of the page than pretty much every other bit of content on it. That's great. That's great, Furry Mate.
Right.
But given that they're apparently ran by the same company that did Furfling, I feel sort of stupid for expecting anything else. Like,
oh man.
I find that these sites the Twitter for Furfling was on another level of I don't even know what.
Sad.
Yeah, of everything wrong with the world. But this Furry Mate website, it's a little difficult to like read through. I mean, when one of the headlines for their little like blurbs on the site is "You spoke, meowed, purred, tweeted, and followed, and we listened." It's like I don't want to read anymore.
Okay, so I'm scrolling through the success stories, and I'm not a looker, but these are all just like, yeah, I can understand why you would turn to a furry dating website. But they have pictures of the couple together. Then they have like the name of the two people, and it's kind of sporadic whether they use like their furry names or their real names or whatever. And then they'll usually have like a little screenshot of their, post on Facebook or the forums or whatever. And so, but I'm looking through here and you have like Natasha and Paul, Carly and Oliver, Travis and Tammy are engaged, and down at the very bottom, Paul and his mate.
Oh my god, I just scrolled down to that too. That's... Oh man. It's like, when you establish a general rule of thumb for something, and then at some point you just completely fucking break it. Like when the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones broke the decades-long established, if not centuries-long established rule of three, with the arrows trying to shoot at, the Stark boy. Yeah. This kind of has, like, the same effect, but in a way that is considerably more uncomfortable than watching a 12-year-old get shot with an arrow. I don't know who his mate is, but I hope they're happy. I hope they're happy together. Maybe his mate doesn't have a name. Maybe he was, like, actually a project. That
Well, I mean, like, you scroll up a little bit, and it's like, Rainbow 1257, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. So it's like, the dude has to have a fucking internet handle that you can throw on there. Nope, just Paul and his mate.
Maybe that is his handle. He's just mate. Like, ever since he was a child, everyone just called him mate. And he decided to make it his character's name. I don't know. Oh man, it's just kind of weird. But then again, I mean, all of this is just kind of
Yeah. So, yeah, Furry Mate, Furfling, same company, both, just really shitty practices. Furry Mate does, I can confirm they do the predatory messaging thing that Furfling did from the start. So.
Oh, so you got those same sort of weird emails.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you got a message from a bot. Give us money, faggot.
Yeah. Basically.
Also,
I just
on that success stories tab, did you scroll all the way to the bottom and look at the ad?
No. Oh God, hold on.
Meet me on Fucky Mate. Oh, I'm Furry Mate. Also, please help me. There is a man with a gun just outside of the shot. Please.
This is literally some, like, chick they picked up on Craigslist as a quote-unquote model. Like, yeah, we'll pay you $20 and buy you lunch to stand here and hold this piece of paper. Oh, we're gonna put this fucking thing on your head. We don't even know what the fuck it is. Whether or not it's furry related is, you know, we don't care.
They wouldn't know what the fuck it is, because remember, it's a 40-year-old white woman, child born out of wedlock, and a boyfriend who has never even heard the word furry before you met her.
That's why she has that look on her face. It's the 40-year-old woman behind the camera smoking a cigarette with the kid behind her. She's just like, the fuck have I gotten myself into?
Oh,
fuck Arby's, I'm getting Panera out of this.
Oh my god. I just look how the poor woman's face.
I think I'm gonna save this. I think I'm gonna try and work this as our show image. Oh, wait, what?
I feel like if the camera pans a little bit to the right, there's just gonna be like a whole bunch of dudes standing there wearing all black with like face masks and these. Just like, now speak the words on the card in front of you. Look directly into the camera.
Dude, what? Fucking right click doesn't even work on any of these images. What the fuck?
What?
How broken is this site?
I'm gonna fucking screen cap this shit. You can't stop me that easily. Oh my god, that's weird. You really can't right click it.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Was it creeping you the fuck out?
Yeah, I'm like, I right clicked to save it, and it's like nothing happened. I'm like, is my mouse dead, or?
What sorcery is this?
Right? Alright. Got it. So, that's pretty much all I have for these two really shitty scam websites. If you give them any sort of financial information, you're a fucking retard.
If you give them any money, well, you're worse than Himmler, so there you go. Stay the fuck away from Furfling. Actually, I mean, if you want to, if you're a masochist like Ed, go ahead and make an account and just watch shit happen. And definitely stay away from Furry Mate, because they've got some of the same predatory practices. And their site is like the internet equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle. So, yeah, fuck that. That's just it's uncomfortable. It's like it's just uncomfortable. I'm done. I'm closing the tab. Goodbye.
So, as I mentioned, there's, a couple of decent ones. There's not really much to go into with those. Pounce.org is obviously, the most used, which, with as niche as a thing as Furry is, yeah, there's gonna be like one that fucking handles most of the traffic,
I mean, I think when I remember, what was it? I think it was So Furry. Was that one of the like disaster sites, or was that actually something that was decent back in the day?
I think it was decent back in the day, as far as I remember. I never used it. Give me a sec. Close all these fucking furfling tabs.
Oh, wow. That's a trip.
What?
Yeah, I just went back to So Furry to check it out, because I never used it either. I think it's old as fuck, right? I think, what was it, 2000? It had to have been.
Yeah, 2002.
Woo, lads, that's fucking ancient.
15 years.
Holy shit,
Jesus.
Don't say that. That just... Stop. But one of their spotlight artists is actually an artist whose stuff I got into a long time ago on Transfer, which isn't a website for trans furries. It is a transformation art site for like werewolves and weird fetish stuff, if you're into that.
Yeah.
And there was an artist that did a lot of like transformation art that he posted on Transfer named, you're gonna laugh, his name is Latex. But he's some Russian dude, and he's spotlighted on So Furry, and like, holy shit, his art has like, to say to come a long way is a little bit of an understatement. That's really fucking impressive.
Oh, Josh, that's what legitimate artists do, is they improve.
What they what? They do.
They improve.
What's that? But I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little distracted by that, but since
that's fine.
So Furry anyways, I figured I'd mention it. I never used it myself. I just remember it from earlier on.
Right.
Shit like Fur Fling and Fur Zoo. Is that like fucking influenza? Like.
Yeah, the last topic, the last type of dating site though, are like the weird offshoots. I don't even know how to tackle this, because these are both fucking horrible, but in completely different ways.
Well, they're not predatory. They're not going after your money in a very dishonest kind of like typical skeevy businessman sort of way, like Furfling and that sort of site. Because Furfling seems constructed almost for like the sole purpose of separating lonely, horny fur bags from their money and from their shekel.
Yeah, literally.
And like, stuff like I mentioned Urzu a second ago, and I know that's one of them that you've got stuff to say about, but I didn't get the whole like I'm coming for your shekels, boy, like vibe that I got from shit like Furfling. It's just a laughable sight is all. It's not a creepy. It's not bad because it's creepy. I want to take your money. It's bad because the user base is like fucking full on all kinds of chromosomes flying everywhere type.
Yeah, Furzu. Now, Furzu was rolled out a couple years back. I forget the year and I'm too lazy to look it up. Furzu was rolled out as a combination dating site and social networking. Yeah, social networking app. And so just out of interest, I created an account under my own, name. Wanted to see what it was about. Because it kind of looked like... Yeah, it kind of looked like a weird fucking, like, Twitter, Facebook for furries combo. It was fine, whatever. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. So, Furzu is... How can I say this nicely?
A writhing, swarming hive of autism? I mean, to coin a term that you first used on the show.
I just... Okay. Yeah. A writhing swarm of autism. Of the kind of people who are going to get absolutely ass mad that we called them autistic. Because that is so ableist of us.
Yeah.
How dare we? How utter dare we? I'm not really that far right. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care.
I do.
I just want to be left alone.
Just so people have some context, I recall a couple years ago, it might have been a year or two, probably about like 2, you came to chat somewhat joking, but with a little bit in crisis, because earlier in the day you had made a remark to somebody and you were like, oh dear fucking god, that made me sound like a Republican. You were having like a bit of a crisis. Definitely not that far fucking right. But I mean, some of the stuff I've seen come out of Furzu, you would think he's like so far right that he came from an alien civilization that initially started using the DNA of Heinrich Himmler. Like, I mean,
to put this in a little bit of perspective, I shitpost on Twitter relentlessly. That's all I do on Twitter. Like, I'm one of those people, I forget Twitter exists for like a month or two, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's a thing. Let me just completely alienate everybody who follows me.
He's not even like exaggerating there.
I literally just, if I think of something that might be remotely funny, I fucking tweet it. I had to take a step back the other day because I tweeted a horse dildo at an anime website.
Well, I mean, you were probably not too bad, because I'm sure that website had already gotten about 50 tweets that day asking them if traps were gay or not.
So, the reason I say that is Twitter, I just shitpost. I am the absolute worst person I can be on Twitter. I'm blocked by 2 people on Twitter that I know of. I may be on some block list or whatever. I doubt it. I don't make that kind of round. Furzu, I just kind of used it like regular social media, like I would my own personal Facebook. You know, I would say shit that, just whatever kind of popped into my head at the moment. If I saw a topic that interested me, I would go in, make a little relevant comment, and then fuck off. On Furzu, I am blocked by at least 12 people that I know of.
I'm sorry, what, 12?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but that's, I would say that was impressive. I was about to say that's kind of impressive, but then I remembered we were talking about Furzu, and I'm like, nah, I'm not giving him props for that.
No, that's like... That's like being the fastest runner in a one-legged race.
You've got to have some please. I know you've given me some examples of some of this shit and some screen caps before, but it's been a while, and of course I've heard them before, but some of our listeners, well, all of our listeners probably haven't, and I just get some of the examples, because saying this stuff, I don't know, it needs some support, it needs some evidence, if you will.
So, I
just kind of put you on the spot a bit, didn't I?
No, I'm trying to think of how to go about this, because on Furzu, the trans thing is very, very prominent, and if you say anything that isn't, glowing respect, for somebody who identifies as trans, then you are just dogpiled. But it took them, I think, a good 3 years to finally look at their user base and go, yeah, I get it, guys, but you can't say kill all cis people and then get upset when they say, hey, that's kind of bigoted. Which is literally what was going on. Like, a trans person would come in like, fucking kill all cis people, they all deserve to die. And if you said something like, that's kind of shitty for you to generalize like that.
Yeah, that's...
Oh my god, it was a fucking joke. Jesus fucking Christ, you're exactly the problem I'm talking about.
Oh, Jesus. That sounds... that sounds a hell of a lot like, some of the stuff that was going on in Tumblr years before Furzu really got off the ground. And
I think a lot of the Tumblr people moved to Furzu, honestly.
The Tumblr furs, anyways.
Yeah.
And
there's...
I'm not too shocked, because, I'm looking at this, the website, of course, and the picture, the artwork that they've got that's kind of like their main artwork on the front, the main site.
Oh yeah,
it's not bad. Like I kind of like that style, the cartoony, goofy style. I don't know. I like kind of goofy shit, but there is a couple of references in there that I think are either clever or tacky. One of them though is Nick and Judy Hopps. It's a fox in a green shirt and a bunny rabbit, wearing casual clothes, like a dress shirt, pink dress shirt, and khakis. But it's I looked a little bit closer at it because I was just curious if they were doing the catering to the whole like trans thing, because in this particular case it's not Judy Hopps, it's the rabbit is the male and the fox is the female, which is fine. That's rule 64, I think it is. Yeah, rule
63.
63?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Rule 63. That's fine. So I was just checking to see if they were trying to play up the whole like trans thing by putting basically Nick Wilde in a skirt. But looking closer at it, it's obviously like a Rule 63 Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps, which fair enough, but it's still kind of weird. I don't know. I did have to chuckle though at the bear and the otter. It makes me fucking laugh, I'll be honest. For those of you who aren't looking at it, it's literally a bear and an otter. And if you don't get that, then like, where the fuck have you been in this fandom? Like, really.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I would get into arguments daily on Furzu because I would say something that wasn't ultra leftist. And on that particular site, it's like that's like a fucking ringing a dinner bell. Just come and dogpile, come and dogpile.
So you thought furries would flock when someone said something like free insert item here? Nah, man. Like, posts on Furzu are like the internet equivalent to somebody saying free pizza at a furry convention. Like, I remember when you were on Furzu somewhat regularly, and you were just sharing some of the stuff with me and then the group chats that we're in, and it was like, fucking what, man? Like,
one of my favorite, I guess, incidents on there was at one point someone posted like in the main feed. Like, you could break down Furzu's feed between, just general chat, your local chat, or, like, your friends. Someone posted in the main feed, if you buy me this dildo, and they linked to Bad Dragon, one of their dildos, if you buy me this dildo, I will send you and you alone photos and or video of me using it to masturbate.
that was fucking Furzu? Oh, shit.
That was Furzu. That person posted that, and within the hour, like 3 or 4 more people had made the same fucking offer.
Of course. Of course. Oh, man. That's, wow. I'm wondering if maybe there was like a fucking voyeurism fetish going on there. 'Cause that's the only way I can really...
Either that or having absolutely no morals in getting what you want.
You see, it's almost sad when I am resorting to a fetish for voyeurism as the more hopeful of the options I have. But
that was another thing. They're very big on kink shaming, unless it's a kink that they as a community don't approve of.
I am guessing that if anybody even made an oblique reference to having a fetish for non-con, that Furzu would immediately self-immolate.
Oh my god. Oh. Like, it was so bad that at one point all you had to do to light up the front page would just make a post like, yeah, I think people who sleep with multiple partners within a particular time span are sluts. And I don't approve of that. And just the way Furzu works is that post would be made, people would just dogpile the comments, and then they would break off and post their own little virtue signaling posts. Always like vague posting too. That was the best part. They never really directly addressed the issue. But like I would pop on Furzu and like the usual suspects would be vague posting about some furry drama bullshit. You know. They'd be like, you know, it really saddens me how some people just can't stay out of other people's bedrooms. And just shit like that. And I'm like...
So, I mean, was that actually something that you saw happen? Not just like a hypothetical, but somebody actually said, you know, like sleeping around with no limits to the property is a little bit slutty. Like, it's just not...
Yeah, that was literally one of the posts that fucking blew the site up for a little while.
Like, see, right, what's going on? Like,
I'm just like, oh my god, y'all are fucking nuts.
Okay, I mean, I've seen some of that on Facebook, if I'm honest. Like, that's not like an exclusively fucking furry thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
But within the fandom, I've been seeing a hell of a lot. Like, it's like, and I think I'm probably just about as much like stay out of people's bedrooms type of guy as it gets. Like, I don't care if your fetish is sitting down on a fully automatic MG40 fucking 3 that has been restored. If that's what you want to fucking do, and it's not hurting anybody, and you didn't break the law, and you got a hold of this highly expensive mechanical sex toy of 40s origin or whatever, go for it. You know, I don't fucking care as long as I don't have to see or hear about it. And I think that's become more or less like the standard for a lot of Americans. You know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of Americans nowadays, the majority anyways, don't really care that much and don't want to know, you know, like, about what's going on in somebody else's fucking bedroom, even if it's something they personally are like, that's fucking weird and I don't like it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter as long as I don't have to worry about it. But, like, when you're talking about the whole... And I'm not surprised this happened on Furzu. Like, slut shaming. Like, why is that even the case? Like, it's not a good thing to be a slut because you aren't. It's not just innocent. It's not like me just jacking off. Like, I don't know what the fucking record for jacking off is, but more than any person healthily should be. It's not hurting anybody in particular, except for maybe myself, if I'm too busy jacking off to go to work. I don't know. But with the whole slut-shaming thing, like, dude, being a slut's not a fucking good thing, because that doesn't just potentially harm you. It can potentially harm some of the people that you're choosing to be a slut with. Like, somebody just having a lot of sex isn't inherently a bad thing, and someone saying you're a terrible person because you have a lot of sex, or you have a low standard because you have a lot of sex, that's not fair. That's not okay. I understand that. But being a slut, that's a different thing. That's more than just having a lot of sex. That's being really promiscuous, sleeping around a shitload with different people particularly, And you can say, well, I only sleep around with my friends. It's like, dude, have you ever seen a like a graphical illustration of a tree of people's sexual endeavors that branches out over time, and how you are connected, how many people you are connected to when you have sex with different individuals, and how it multiplies on a scale that is essentially exponential. It's just that I hate to get into like a fucking moral rant about this, but it just pisses me off because it's something I've seen outside of Furzu too, and I've seen a lot in just the furry community in general, and in the not furry community in Facebook. It's like, dude, like just because someone sleeps around a lot doesn't mean they're necessarily a slut, but or has a lot of sex, I should say, doesn't mean they're necessarily a slut. But being a slut's not a good thing, and nobody is a terrible person for saying, dude, I don't want to have sex with someone who acts excessively promiscuous or is, slutty. And again, sorry for the rant. It's something that grinds my fucking gears. Like, I don't even know. Worse than I did the first time I drove a fucking manual.
This is exactly what I was talking about. I'm scrolling through the front page of Furzu. Whoever flagged me for transphobia, congratulations. In the clusterfuck of whatever happened today on the global feed, you decided to either go flag whoever you thought was cis or anything remotely relating to something you could twist into somehow transphobic. Good job. Way to be overdramatic. You must be proud. I'm gender fluid. Don't know if that puts me closer to trans or cis, but I literally don't care. Because to me, all the point of grouping different genders into trans or cis categories is just to create hate and lead to stupid bullshit like this. Flagging someone for a transphobic post that didn't even use a gender or participate in the dumpster fire of tonight's global, grow the hell up. Learn some tolerance and realize the world's not going to fit into your box no matter what you believe. Move on with your life. Of course, this will probably get flagged as well for being insensitive or something. To drive home my original point, there are 62 comments on this. I can see 40 of them.
What do you mean you can only see 40 of them?
Because the other, 22 are from people who have blocked me.
Oh my god, that is wonderful. Who made that post? I mean, if there's 22 comments from people that have blocked you, and this was on a global post. What?
Yeah.
Okay. To me, that either indicates that the person who made that post is someone who the original post, someone who you probably have some interactions with on a regular basis, or no. Either that, or the actual population of Furzu is so low that one could fairly call it almost abysmal. Because
I mean, to be fair, they have a pretty respectable user base, but
I thought they did, but I mean, user base would typically imply that people are actually using it, not just making accounts. Unlike what was it called? What was that site that came out last time for Affinity had like a bit of a hiccup and everyone acted like it was the site all the furries were going to move to? It was actually a decent.
Fur Nation. Or Furry Network or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was it. It's actually a decent site. It's actually a pretty good site.
Yeah.
Not knocking it, but it would act like people were going to move to that once FA fucked up. But so I mean, a shitload of people made accounts. I made a fucking account.
Yeah.
I actually moved as much of my gallery as I could because they had a really convenient, cool function that Pretty.
Yeah, that did that for you.
Yeah, God, that was the.
They knew what their purpose was.
Absolutely. It was really, and I'm honestly, I won't lie, a little part of me is kind of disappointed it didn't take off more. But that's
Right.
a good example of, like, having a shitload of members and quote-unquote user base, but none of them niggas actually use it.
Good point. Good point.
And if you got, like, just 12 people that are blocking you, but on a global post, again, assuming this wasn't like a local.
I mean, I'm reading through it, and it looks like dude was having a conversation with somebody who has blocked me. So, because there's a lot of like one-sided responses from him.
Okay, so like a lot of the blocked comments that you're seeing all came from like one person who was having a back and forth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that would make a hell of a lot more sense. Yeah. Because otherwise, I'm like, damn! Either fucking 25% of Furzu's active users have blocked this guy, or there's just something more specific going on. I don't know, I would almost be tempted to make an account on Furzu just to see.
Don't.
Well,
Don't.
it's what you did, and I know you're kind of a fucking masochist, so I can't help but feel like maybe I ought to, just for a month, just to see. Unlike sites like Furfling and shit like that, I would never waste
Yeah.
time. So, I mean, Furzu's not inherently bad. Like I was saying before we really got into this, the impression I've gotten from your experiences primarily, and that of a couple other people I know who use it and tend to have views that are a lot more, like, moderate, I guess. I've just gotten the impression that the main problem with Furzu is its user base.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Tumblr and Twitter fucked, and all their children were furries, and one of them is Furzu. Is what the impression I've gotten. And I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but.
Oh no, it absolutely is the user base that's fucking atrocious. Yeah, that is. Yeah, no, it's absolutely the user base who's fucking atrocious. The mods aren't very good either. They're gonna fall on the social justice side of things, obviously.
They do, regardless of what site you go to nowadays, honestly.
Yeah,
Non-furry
usually.
sites included.
So, and it's just, I mean, if you are into the whole, social justice crowd, you'll probably get along on Furzu just fine until you say something that, they disagree with. There's no rhyme or reason to, what that may be.
Did you just make a post seriously criticizing zoophilia? Yeah, all right.
I'm about to go Alex Jones here for a second.
Got that super male vitality, son. Water filters.
Oh my god.
Did I just trigger the fuck out of you? This is my fault.
Hayes and I have been, over here in our own little world where, zoophilia is bad. But then we go on, furry Twitter, and people are like, oh yeah, I don't care if they fuck dogs, they draw good. And I'm just like, what fucking planet do you live on where this is okay?
Somewhere deep in the mountains of Afghanistan. I don't know.
I'm like,
Have you run into the whole? I've only run into this once in my life, but I have run into it, and that fact alone is what makes me kind of like scared that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and not be dead. Somewhat the argument. Okay, well, you'll tell us that it's culturally acceptable, even though it's like a foreign culture, for, East Asians to eat dogs, but you're gonna tell me it's wrong to like have sex with one. I'm like, all right, sit down. My name's Chris Hansen. We need to have a discussion. Also, you're not leaving here without ammo. Which is a blessing, because...
Why? I'm like, because there are cultures in the Amazon rainforest where 7-year-olds blow the elders of the fucking tribes.
Oh, and to swallow, too, because that is...
Yeah.
That is
male vitality.
Yeah, super...
Alex Jones's tentacles reach far and wide.
Oh my god. Alex Jones is secretly a fucking great old one. Cthulhu's fucking... God, we're terrible. I've heard that. Like, yeah, you're okay with like Chinese people eating them, but you don't want me to have sex with them. Like, all right, like, from now on, my dog is being locked in a room so that neither you nor anybody else can ever come near him. Was that some shit you saw on Furzu too, then?
No, I will give Furzu credit where it's due. They are pretty against fucking zoophilia. Yeah, they're pretty against that from what I've seen.
Oh my god, what a miracle!
Right. I think because they could, lump it in with the "you're a rapist" thing.
Which, I mean, rape generally, like, bad?
Imagine that.
Even if it's interspecies? It's like, just because, like, this dude touched down in a spaceship, walked out of it, and said, yo, homie, I'm from Mars, doesn't mean you get to bend him over and stick your dick inside of him, okay? So, alright, well, at least Furzu's got that, and I think you're probably right when saying it's got it, because people are more focused on the issue of rape nowadays, which honestly, in my opinion, isn't necessarily a bad thing, although in some cases,
absolutely not. But
in some cases people misconstrue information and it gets a little bit more on the fringe there, but generally speaking, holy shit, man, that's something.
Yeah, that was something. Don't ever bring up false rape allegations on Furzu. Bad news bears, my friend.
I can only fucking imagine. It has become a sin to even have not just express, but to have doubts about somebody's claim nowadays, especially within the fandom, which I understand where it comes from, because there have been a lot of people that have had shitty experiences or been maybe not raped but sexually assaulted, which would technically include pretty much any kind of unwanted contact, like that wasn't consensual. If I fucking walk up to a waitress, I can't grab her by the pussy, alright? Like, it's not rape, but it is sexual fucking assault, and I can imagine that shit happens, like, all the time, especially within the fandom.
Josh,
What?
I'm about to rape you via telegram.
Oh, dear fucking God, what now? What it, oh. Alright.
That was on the front page of Furzu, and I thought you would like that.
You know what? So Ed just sent me an image over Telegram. And I've had this Furzu tab open for probably a good, like, half hour, 45 minutes. Looking at the join us and sign in options, and after the image that Ed sent me, I'm kind of thinking about moving my vision up to the tabs and clicking that little X next to Furzu, because I think I'm done. I think I'm over. Like, yeah, we're closing Furzu now. Oh shit, that was a mistake. Never mind. I should have. The 4th of July Twitter came back up. Let me take Furzu back. I'm sorry. Scroll shift B.
Yeah.
So
It's a big hairy dude dressed up as a BDSM mistress. Okay. That's Furzu's user base right there, summed up in one picture.
I think a lot of our listeners might know already that I am kind of into BDSM. It's something I don't really hide. I mean, it's so fucking common nowadays. Why the fuck would anyone feel the need to hide it? It's a running joke that every mayor in every, like, town secretly. When I think of the word dominatrix, I think of literally just about everything else on the planet before I think of this. I think of an egg sitting on the sidewalk and cracking open before I think of this when I hear the word dominatrix. Yeah, thanks, Ed. Fuck you. I hope you're well. Go to hell. Oh, man. So, I don't know if there was any other, because I haven't really personally jumped into Furzu, and I might, although after that image, I'm thinking my prospects have been significantly diminished. Was there anything else? Because I know you mentioned there was more than just Furzu in terms of sites that really aren't predatory, aren't nefarious, but they're terrible.
But are still pretty shit.
Yeah.
The only other one that I feel is worth mentioning, because we've been at this for 2.5 hours now. The only other one I feel is that's worth mentioning is the Furry dating subreddit.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
This thing makes the San Francisco Craigslist look perfectly normal.
Look like something that comes out of the Vatican.
Yeah, it's I've got it open on my browser, and I'm looking for it.
Link me. I was looking for it earlier. I wasn't sure which one was which.
It's in Telegram. Whoop, hold on. Yeah, there.
Oh, great. Great.
Yeah. Wolf dude looking for people. 19, male for male. All aboard the Fox train.
Oh, man. Lonely deer boy looking for a mate and friends. Chick in the fandom looking for guys' friends. Wait.
No,
wait.
you're not.
Chick in the fandom looking for guys' friends. Let me read. What? No. No, it's fake. It's fake news.
Alice Knives 666. I love that username. There is probably a 90% chance that when you're reading these, they will mention video games and or anime as their hobbies.
Oh yeah, I mean like 29M4F Oklahoma looking for friends or mate who enjoys PC gaming and tacos. Because tacos haven't been like a meme since an Invader fucking Tim came out. Tacos! Random tacos! I like tacos! Please kill me.
Please kill me. I have no hope of developing an actual personality.
My personality is akin to a void.
If my truck doesn't impress you, my personality sure as shit won't.
Subby pansexual wolf she wolf. Her subby pansexual she wolf hybrid looking for dating and relationship near Dallas-Fort Worth, male or female. Oh. All right. Well, I mean, at least all of the information that is immediately relevant is available in the title. I will give them that.
Let me paint you the picture that they're painting of themselves. I'm not interested in pictures of your genitals. I'm 24 and plus sized. I'm demisexual and pan. Basically, I don't really have a gender preference. If I form a strong emotional and romantic bond with you over time, I might start feeling sexual attraction regardless of your gender. And then maybe I'd sleep with you, but I'd have to love you first.
In the meantime, though, I could use some money for rent.
I'm an aspiring writer and I love to RP. I keep it classy, though. I am into cosplaying and making stuff like tails. I love collecting and identifying rocks. I have an odd sense of humor. Everybody has an odd sense of humor this day.
No, I'm totally normal, Ed. What are you talking about? I don't laugh at 9/11 jokes.
Unlike my persona, I do not have a lot of piercings, though I may want more, and I do have a super cute tattoo, and I do plan on getting more tattoos in the future.
Where are you reading this off of? Wait a second, I'm...
The subby pansexual thing.
Yes. I can read and write in German as well as speak some. I know a bit of Spanish. Everybody knows a little bit of Spanish, sweetheart. And practice a little bit of American Sign Language.
If you are my mate or my pack mate, your happiness adds to mine. So I strive to bring you that happiness.
Packmate.
Packmate. 5-1 says they do not have a natural hair color.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering at this point because I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I do have epilepsy and some other medical problems. And
Of course you do.
not anything you can catch. LOL. Okay, well. Epilepsy.
No.
Epilepsy is not. It depends. It's not too big of a deal most of the time, although it can be really dangerous for some people when they're driving. But I don't know what the other medical problems are.
Submitted 21 days ago. No comments.
Parentheses, yet.
They might as well just take that out.
Come on, Ed, you can be the first.
No.
I'll do it.
23, F for whatever. You've given up at this point.
F for whatever? Wait. I'm looking for it. Where?
Down near the bottom, third from the bottom.
F for whatever. I don't know what is this F female. Oh, like male for male, female
Yeah.
for male.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that the 20th one? It says 19 M for A. Looking for chill partner in county. What the fuck is A?
Anything, I assume. I assume that means anything.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Fuck. Oh, I wish I didn't ask. Shit.
Mostly looking for females or femboys. Okay.
Traps aren't gay, remember? You can be a good Christian and fuck the shit out of a dude as long as they're a trap. Larger, older, affectionate alpha wolf needed. :3. Oh dear. Oh man. 7 comments though. Oh, that's the most so far. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna click it. This little wolfy pup needs an alpha wolf to own and protect him, and do all sorts of other things an alpha does.
Ooh woo.
Ooh, woo, woo. Oh. My telegram is something I just gave out publicly. You can message me there. Oh dear God. What? Second comment. What state, country, / planet? Oh man.
19 male fox looking for friends / not safe for work partners.
What does that even mean?
I would love to have someone to share my favorite furry porn with.
You mean like any fucking furry that you happen to talk to and be friends? It's like, Digga, are you living in like Salt Lake City? You really never encountered another fur bag you can exchange porn with. Fuck. I'm so sorry. New to the fandom and want to make friends. Homie, you just
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you just fucked up big time. You posted it on okay. First of all, Reddit is the last place on the entire internet that you go to make friends. You are better off going to the dark web and trying to find a person that wants to sell you cocaine for Bitcoin. All right, like you'll have a better friend than you. But you went to the furry subreddit. Like, nigga, no, stop. Oh man. This is 1 month ago. I want no comments yet. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm almost half tempted to sign in and be like, leave this place. Leave this place. Nigga, no. Oh, Jesus.
All these people just wantonly handing out their fucking Telegram accounts.
Dude, I don't know how people can do that. I don't even have it posted anywhere, and I will still get messages from people that are like, oh, hey, I found you. Like, hey, wait.
Right? Like, dude, the Telegram first group on Fur Affinity, I will literally just, like, scroll through the names and, like, pick one and just send them that fucking Jeb Bush face.
Oh my fucking god, are you serious?
Yes! I've done that to probably a good, like, 50 people at this point.
Do they ever respond?
Oh god, yes, dude. I've had, like, hours-long conversations with people about it.
Just random motherfuckers that
Yeah.
Jeb Bush, king of the guac.
Just that fucking derpy ass like face that he made.
If I was doing that, I would send them the one of him coming out of a guac bowl with a guac bowl on his head like a helmet.
I may switch to that one actually.
You know what?
Now that you mention it.
Because those fucking guac bowls he was selling on his website were like $50.
Yeah. And they're just like basic little fucking guac bowls that you can pick up at any Target for like $15.
Exactly. Oh my god. Jeb, if you ever hear this, I know I am laughing at your expense, but god damn it, I legitimately feel terrible for you. Please don't kill yourself. You haven't already, and I expected it to happen back in May last year. So please, you made it this long. Don't do it now. Your mom loves you. I know she's a heartless cunt, but she loves you, I'm sure. Like, she has to, biologically or some shit. Your dad probably wishes you were dead. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah. It's just... His brother, who didn't even want it, got the presidency. He wanted it so goddamn bad and didn't even get close.
He had a super PAC worth more than all the campaign financing that all of the other candidates had almost combined. Fucking didn't even come close. Fuck. Chris fucking Christie was still like, fuck you, I'm coming after you. I know I'm gonna lose, but I got fight in me. And Jeb was like, almost a year ago. Mom, please love me. Can I go back to Florida? No, Jeb. Can I go back to Florida? No, Jeb, no. Yeah. Oh my god.
Maybe if he had handed out more turtles, it would have gone better for him.
The end of Jeb Bush was gonna come. Like, grab a huge ass fucking bag, tie it around his neck, and fill it up with those fucking turtles, and then just slowly walk into a lake and not come back out. Either that, or he was gonna fly to Chicago. No fucking announcement, no messages, no police escort, no nothing. He was just gonna fly to Chicago, take an elevator to the top of Trump Tower, and just let himself slowly tilt off of it. Like, I was convinced that one of those two ways was how he was gonna go. Fuck. Oh man. Oh dear God. 21 M for F. 21 male for male or female. And oh my god, he's just going to trigger so many people on Versu with that. In El Paso, Texas. Woo! Woo, lads! El Paso, Texas, you said. Alright. I really hope you do find somebody, dude. This was 1 month ago by a person whose name I'm not going to disclose. But El Paso, my dude. I would pretty much hook up immediately with the first person you meet who actually has a job and can get you out of El Paso, Texas. I don't know who you are, but you're a furry, so even though it's really ignorant, that makes me have some sympathy for you. I don't want you hanging from a bridge somewhere in Juarez, because... I don't know. You didn't even see anything. It's cool. Oh, fuck it. I'm hanging him from a bridge anyways. I'm bored. Just get out of El Paso. I don't go to Dallas. Go to Houston. I don't care. Get out of El Paso.
Yeah, there's that subby person in Dallas Fort Worth. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Go move in with them. Get the fuck out of El Paso.
Hey. Oh, dear. Wolf dog looking for casual fun with fellow canids, foxes included.
New York City Metro. Is anybody surprised?
It's New York, you know? Like, let's be honest. If the Cold War ever stopped being cold, it would have been the first place that got baked off the face of planet Earth, and we wouldn't have lost a whole hell of a lot. Oh, man. 9/11 was just a good start. Shy, Texas.
2 planes was not enough.
Oh my god! We needed an entire fucking squad of fucking Russian turboprops. Those are the things that New York needed. Not the hero they deserved, but the one they needed. Oh man. Eisenhower, you were brilliant, but your interstate system won't save these faggots now. It's time for the sun to rise in the day. And fuck the taxi cab drivers, they're still gonna be alive, driving around looking for people to pick up. Because they're like roaches, nothing can kill them.
I don't know why I can't find any fires today.
The whole city's like on fire, they're still driving around. Not a fucking dent on their cab.
Except the one from when they ran into that pole the other day.
Or somebody's parked car. It would have to be a car that they didn't say a word about. And there was a passenger in the back seat when it happened, too.
Oh my god.
Shy Texas pony. Nope, scrolling down. Seattle owl looking for pals. Seattle is where rainforest happens. I just don't look at that city anymore. I pretend to don't. I take everything I said about New York back. It should have been Seattle. Fuck. You know, fuck even that. Seattle ought to have just been like the first test site for kinetic rods fired from space. See how it works. Chronically shy boy looking for friends and perhaps something. Whoa! M for M. 19 Netherlands looking for kinky fuck buddies. Shit, son, cool your jets.
You're 19, you don't know shit about kink. Dude,
he's from the Netherlands. You are wrong. He's from you. He's from the fucking Netherlands. There's probably people that jack off to, like, people propelling boats by shitting violently. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Been to Amsterdam, and I'm not kidding. This is 100% completely me being serious and historically honest. Walking around Amsterdam, and we're walking through there's a lot of streets in a lot of European cities in general that are no car traffic. They're all older and everything's smaller. There's not enough room for all the fucking cars. So we're walking around through what in America would be called kind of an alley, but here, over there, this is a street, you know? And there's all kinds of posters everywhere, and I've already gotten used to some of the more, let's just say, openly lewd stuff that is just generally accepted in Amsterdam, and I don't really have a huge problem with that. You know, Americans are a little bit prudish.
Yeah.
I look over to my left, and there is like 16 of these posters in a row, and it's just a dude's cock wearing a mini fur coat. Like, straight up a fucking circumcised dick wearing a coat. And, like, it's just totally fucking normal. Like, so, 19-year-old nigga from the Netherlands looking for kinky fuck buddies, probably, like, he's probably a couple levels up on us when it comes to weird shit. Oh my god, are there any comments on it? Not one. They're probably all PM'd.
Looking for poly relationship to join.
That doesn't scream desperate.
Local Raleigh Wolf looking for some people to connect with, generally just wanting to show affection to someone and wanting to receive it too, or even just friends. Add me on Discord.
Yeah. No.
Be specific. Male for MF, F for MF. Either a male and female or two females works for me at this point. If you're in North Carolina, that is.
Colorado.
Right?
Salt Lake City specifically.
Wow.
41-year-old coyote seeks friends, chat, and ultimately a relationship.
Josh, get off of the Reddit.
Oh no! Oh no! And this is me in 2 decades. Oh my god, this is one of the not looking into it because it's a coyote. It's just seeks friends, chat, and ultimately a relationship. Is generally one of the saddest ones I have heard so far.
Right?
It just reads, when you click it, it's looking for chat, friends, or more. I live in West Virginia, and I am in college getting my degree in accounting. No comments yet. This is 2 months ago. Oh my god, this is depressing. Shit. Getting my degree in accounting.
Gayfer looking for online boyfriend and Anthrocon partner.
So somebody to fuck at Anthrocon.
Yeah.
Oh. Because I...
A few more down. 30, male for anyone. Pittsburgh, looking for a YIF watching partner.
Looking for... YIF... What the... Oh, by He Humps Horses. Okay. Alright. You're not fooling me this time, Mr. Hands. I'm out of here. Whoa. What's this? New to furry stuff. Looking for help developing a persona ideas online by no fingerprints. Okay, yeah.
One comment.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that. Anyone whose name is like no fingerprints, I'm like, all right, you're online. You're okay. Goodbye. God damn it,
What
Ed.
the-
You know what there's a lot of on here?
What?
There's a lot of wolves on here, Ed. Holy fucking flying titties, son. Like, Jesus. Fucking, okay.
I cannot help that my brethren are just desperate.
Stop. Wolf looking for mate. Wolf looking for friends, relationships, maybe. Fucking
Wolf looking to make some friends. Oh, that one's from Tennessee. Great.
UK by male Highland Grey Wolf / tuxedo common wildcat looking for friends or more to hang out with. Wolf looking for friends, maybe later on. Oh, look, a snow leopard. Nobody likes you. Boy.
18, male for female. Feet and other fetish stuff? No comments. No.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I have to click on this one.
What?
Minnesota.
Oh, the Minnesota bisexual
Bisexual.
snow leopard?
Yes. Do you know why I have to click on this, Ed? You probably... Okay, let's see. Let me see. My name is Diana. I'm a snow leopard, ram, a hybrid. I'm also bisexual. I'm open to males and females. Gamings, arts, crafts, nature, leatherwork. Currently going to school. Laboratory technology degree. Okay, that's generally a fairly normal... That's a little bit of a relief.
Yeah, right.
But, dude...
Like, they turned out to be a lot more normal than I gave them credit for initially.
Yeah, I had to stop and check though because one of the times I went to get my hair cut. Now, I didn't bring up furry stuff specifically, but the topic came up because I was talking to the person who was cutting my hair about a comic book movie that had come out. She's big into fucking comic books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she'd gone to one of the Comic-Con things that they do. I guess they do something like it in Minneapolis. She's down
Yeah.
with that. She's big into that stuff. And I'm like, I'd like to go to one of those someday. Like, it's cool to see all the people with their cosplays, like, especially the really well-done ones.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to see that at least once before I eat shit and die. And somehow the conversation came to furries. And it turns out there was a furry she didn't, personally know, but her nerdier, comic book friends were friends
Yeah.
with a furry who was a snow leopard up in northern Minnesota. Like, I'm sitting there getting my fucking haircut like a complete fur fag. Oh, a snow leopard. Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of neat. Yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, he's got one of the big costumes and everything. Really.
Oh, no.
I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'm totally not one of those people at all, in any way, shape, or form. Haha. I think
Yeah,
the person cutting my hair said it was a dude, as far as I recall, so it's probably not the same person. But
nah, probably not.
snow
But
leopards are uncommon, and
yeah, the furry subreddit, dating subreddit, is just holy fuck.
if you are really fucking desperate, I guess it's probably a good place to go, because I can guarantee you'll run into somebody. But
Oh.
it is like that 41-year-old coyote accountant dude that's seeking just friends, chat, and ultimately friendship, I guess. That's just the most depressing shit. So, yeah, you'll find some of that on Reddit. I mean, it's Reddit. Reddit's already bad enough.
Right?
There was a point where I used to actually get on Reddit semi-often, just to look at some of the subreddits, like,
Just rolled into the shop is beautiful.
what was that?
I said the just rolled into the shop subreddit is beautiful.
Oh, Jesus, I bet that one's got some... Oh.
Oh, the automotive autism there is just... just on point.
The one thing I did not fuck with was the furry subreddit, and
No, I do not blame you. I do not blame you a bit.
then the dating one seems I don't know. It's just kind of, it's not so much hysterical as it is depressing, because there's all kinds of these posts of people just looking for someone. Not even all.
Please talk to me.
Yeah, and they're going back like a month old, 2 months old, 4 months old. Not a single comment on any of them. It's like, dude, stop. Better ways to meet other human beings.
And that's I think what this boils down to. There are better ways to meet people than these websites. Especially if you live in like a larger city, dude, you're probably going to have access to a local meet at some point. You know, if you're just absolutely hung up on your partner has to be a furry, you know, like I've run into people who are like, well, I could never date somebody if they weren't a furry and a musician. And I'm like, wow, way to limit your dating pool there, buddy.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
You know, dude.
Understand?
Yeah.
I can understand somebody preferring to date within the fandom, because even though
There's a lot less shit you have to explain.
yeah, it makes things a hell of a lot easier. I've seen people gradually leave the fandom because they started dating somebody who wasn't a furry, and honestly just had kind of some I would honestly say ignorant discontent with the fact that their loved one was into the fandom, and it's a shame to see that. So I get why somebody would prefer to date within the fandom, but it's like you should not limit yourself to if you can possibly help it, you know.
And to be fair, you know, the fandom is a great place to meet people. You know, I met my girlfriend of, I think we're going on 3.5 years now. We met through the fandom. But, like, dude, she's an artist. I'm a musician. You know, we look at each other working on our respective craft, and it's like, how the fuck do you even know how to do that? You know? So, they have to be a furry and a musician thing just rubs me really the wrong way.
Yeah, that's something that just didn't sit right with you. It's kind of like, dude, what?
But
Sorry.
there's ways to meet people. You know, look at hobbies that you might have outside of the fandom, like gaming, anime, because those are like the two biggest fucking go-tos for fur fags. You know,
And if
join an anime group.
it
Those motherfuckers are going to be aware of what furries are.
Well, I mean, I think if you're specifically looking for other furries to socialize with, I think a lot of these people are people that maybe they do have friends, you know, but they kind of want to get more into, like, furry in general. They do specifically want to date somebody within the fandom, or they're desperate to try and meet some new people within the fandom. You know, if you've got the time to do it and you want to shotgun effect it, then I guess you could use some of these websites. I just, generally speaking, wouldn't fucking recommend it.
Oh, not in the least.
Going to artists' streams. There's an artist you really enjoy watching draw. You'll notice that if you go to them a lot, they have regulars that'll show up that you'll end up talking to repeatedly. And honestly, that's how I really got the ball rolling. I was, in this particular case, the artist that was doing the streams, and that's how I started meeting people. There were people that would come to view my streams because I would do them every night, and they'd show up, 4 or 5 nights out of the week, whether it was for like half an hour or whether it was all fucking night. They would show up, and they started to get to know each other, not just me. Like, that some of the people that were regulars would start to meet each other, and they became friends, on their own level without, me being really involved other than just providing a stream where they were chatting in. And that's just one example. There's tons of them out there. Just if you use, I would suggest you use Telegram, because a lot of the furry community has moved.
Oh, a lot of furries are fucking using Telegram, and it's a really easy app to use, actually. I typically don't like messenger services, and this is a pretty easy one for me to use. So it makes my shit posting a lot easier.
Yeah, I would also shill for Telegram, honestly. Like, it's great, and it's free, and it's easy to use, and hell, maybe there's only like 3 or 4 people you end up talking to frequently that actually use it, but it's so easy to use that it's worth having just to keep in touch with those 3 or 4 people.
Well, in the Telegram thing, though, they have literally a list of furry groups with like other interests. Like, I'm in a furry guitar chat and a furry craft beers chat. And there's local chats for every fucking state, just about.
Yeah, like those are honestly great. If I'm right, and there's furries out there, like the people in the subreddit who are specifically looking to get in touch with other people within the furry community. Okay, you've got a couple of good friends in real life and everything, and that's neat, but you want to kind of like meet more furries. You want to meet a few more people that have this one particularly weird interest of ours. Yeah, like there's groups, specific groups, like, okay, so you're a furry, and you don't know where to start, because just going, I'm a furry, you're a furry, we have something in common, let's get to know each other. That's kind of fucking autistic, let's be honest. But I'm in a lot of firearms furry chats. There's a lot of furs out there that are into firearms. There's a lot of furs out there that are into music. Like, Ed could probably educate you specifically.
Oh God, yes.
And
I'm in so many goddamn music chats. I have left more music chats than any other type of chat,
It's specifically furries that are into this stuff, so...
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got an interest, like Ed would say, if you're into anime, you could probably find a couple different chats that are, like, populated almost exclusively by furries, but are into anime. I'm in one for fucking Star Wars, like fur fags that are really into Star Wars. Like I said, fire.
Telegram literally has a furry cars chat for people who talk about like cars and the shit that they drive and work on and shit. And then they have a furry cars chat for people who just play Forza all the fucking time. Like, holy fuck. I stumbled into that one not realizing what it was, and I'm talking to people about their cars, and they're like listing all these fucking great and wonderful vehicles, and I'm like, where the fuck are y'all getting this kind of fucking money from? And then someone mentioned Forza, and I about swallowed a shotgun.
It's like, I can only imagine. I can only fucking imagine getting into a chat like that and being like, man, where are all these motherfucking fur fags flush as shit with cash at convention?
It would be like you getting into like what you thought was a gun chat, and these people talking about their, M16s and AK-47s and their fucking rifles that cost $10,000 or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you realize it's a Call of Duty chat.
And that would probably take me a matter of minutes, though, let's be honest. This is the second time.
I was so pissed.
Yeah, my squad automatic weapon. I'm like, wait. my fully auto, blah blah blah. I'm like, you're what? Okay.
Yeah, they start sharing those pictures that are being passed around on the news of the fucking automatic rifle with the grenade launcher.
Oh, the fully automatic M16. No, the fully automatic AR-15 that had a bump stock that had a grenade launcher, a extended mag, a foregrip, and no bump stock. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the bump stock that wasn't. I don't know. Oh my god. Just as an aside, those are like the most autistic, redneck as fuck. I just want to go to the range and waste a bunch of ammo for fun, like, type accessory I have ever seen. I was tempted to get one just so I could spend about like $40 on ammo and like dump a couple of like mags into all zero accuracy whatsoever. If I got even one bullet on the target, I would have been happy. But yeah, so if you are a fur fag looking for other fur fags and you want to like socialize and all that good shit, there are ways to do it. It's just that the dating sites that we have been going over and disaster that is this Reddit, not the ways to do it. I mean, if you, like I said earlier, if you want to shotgun effect it and you've got the time to just fucking just throw it all out there, fucking go for it. Stay away from the fucking scam sites that we went over. Stay away from those. If you want to fuck around with Furzu, go for it. Like, more power to you, but you're probably wasting your fucking time. Same with this fucking Reddit. Yeah, like we were saying, there's better alternatives. Telegram is great. Fur Affinity, as much as it pains me to say it, honestly, pretty great. Like I said, you could find artists that are doing live events and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we originally met because you stumbled across, like, a song I had posted or some shit like that, and you were like, oh, shit, a metal guy.
Yeah, the whole reason Ed and I are even talking right now is because I was this angsty dude in his late teens who just didn't like a lot of the fucking fandom at all. And I figured I felt kind of alone. I was a little bit more conservative than a lot of the people you see in the fandom. I liked heavy metal, not fucking dance and electronic stuff, although I like pretty much all kinds of stuff now. But I was just having a really hard time finding other furs that I felt like I could actually relate to, like furs that were, into vehicles, furs that were into music, particularly heavy metal. And I ran into one of Ed's songs, and I was like, hey, this guy's into fucking heavy shit, like good heavy shit too, And started just kind of casually bullshitting on fucking Fur Affinity and over.
Yeah, just bantering back and forth in the comments.
Yeah, like I watched him, he watched me back because I did some artwork that was kind of like okay, and over the years it just kind of like progressed, and that's how I met a lot of people. It was on fucking Fur Affinity.
Yeah.
Back and forth, and then one day, one of you asks, "Hey, dude, do you have like a Telegram? Hey, dude, do you have like a Skype?" And you get the Telegram or Skype, and you just bullshit with them like a normal human being would in a text message, and that's honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about Ed, but as far as I'm concerned, it's probably one of the better ways to go about meeting other fur fags that you can get along with.
Yeah, you know, just browse shit that interests you, because people that also hold those interests are going to be browsing the same fucking shit, and they're going to be commenting, and you're going to be commenting, you know, and they'll say something that you think is funny, and you're like, dude, that was fucking funny, we should talk, you know, and it just goes from there. That's how natural human interaction progresses.
Yeah, and I mean, I've met a lot of people in different ways, but it started oftentimes on FA. The way I met another good friend of mine, I'll go ahead and say his name is Gun Racer. I met him on Fur Affinity in a rather different circumstance that I met Ed on, but it was still on FA, and we started talking via private messages or whatever, and eventually it was like, shit, dude, if you've got Skype or something like that, we could talk more often sometime, you know? You're a cool dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Another person.
And then I met Gun through Josh, and Gun and I get along pretty damn well. So, you know, while the person that you initially interact with may not be the person you end up dating or whatever, they may know the person that you end up dating. It's just, you got to put yourself out there in different ways.
Yeah, and that's actually, there's been a couple of examples of that just between our circle of friends, me and Ed's. There's a few people that have gotten to know one of us and gotten to know another person who is one of our friends, you know, in our like little circle of friends, as I said, and some of them are now dating, and they never would have fucking met those people who they're partners with now if they hadn't gone out there and been interactive on stuff like Skype and FA and met either myself or Ed, and then brought into this group where they ran into this other person who was a friend of ours, and then realized they were a great match for each other. And so that's it, to kind of poke a little bit of fun at dating websites that has been going on for, well, since the 90s, since dating websites started to get popular. It's like, oh yeah, what site did you meet each other on? It's like, oh no, I just met him through meeting my other mutual friends like normal people do. And granted, these circle of friends, these quote unquote like normal people are all through a screen, but that's not the traditional, you know, you're meeting somebody from town, etc., but it still works the same way, and it's really fucking effective if you can just get out there. And I know it's hard for some people to socialize. I'm not the most social person, frankly. But dude, just fucking try it. Just something other than these like shotgun kind of like informal kind of cold and sterile feeling websites where you're just competing with a shitload of other people for attention of some form.
Yeah, no, you know. And if it's tough for you to get out there and socialize, just take small steps, you know. Little background story. When I was a teenager, 16, 17, social interaction and I did not get along. No. And I realized that was an issue that I was having. So I would go to the local grocery store and just strike up random conversation with people. If they were looking at dog food, I'd be like, oh, my dog likes that brand too. What kind of dog do you have? Just general bullshit like that. And you come to realize that it's not that hard, and most of the time, people don't give a shit. They'll fucking talk to you. It's no big deal. And that's all you have to do is just start the conversation.
That's honestly a fucking fantastic point. And now that you've gone ahead and said it, I wish that's something that we heard more often in stuff that isn't a podcast specifically for furries. It's something I wish somebody like fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson would fucking say one of these days, just so non-fur fags that have the same issues with socializing could fucking hear, because it's so relevant outside of the fandom as well. It's a great point. Since I have moved to the town that I'm currently at, which happened a little bit over a month ago, I have gone out to the bars. I understand sometimes finances might be an issue as well, and that's
absolutely
that's a difficulty there. That's not easily hopped over. But I have gone out to the bars. I'm not a complete introvert, but I'm definitely not an extrovert either. I can sit there at the bar for 4 hours just drinking alcohol nonstop and look at nothing but my phone or the TV and interact with nobody but the bartender, and I'm fine with that. But I've been going out to bars more often since I moved to what is a college town. And since I've moved here, just by going out to fucking bars by myself and being at least open to conversations with people, if someone says something to me or makes a remark, I'll respond and try to respond with something that could, if the other person is interested, lead it to a conversation, even if it's a brief one. And there's about 3 to 4 phone numbers that are now in my address book that weren't in there when I moved here, and they all came from just randomly going to the bar and meeting total strangers and either trying myself to start a conversation or making a remark to somebody that led to a conversation that they chose to try and start with me. And the same shit will happen, albeit much more easily and much quicker, online within the furry community on places like Fur Affinity. Again, I hate to say it, but it's true. Or
it is what it is.
Yeah, especially usually you will meet people on Fur Affinity and Twitter, and then something like Telegram will be the medium with which you start talking with them and engage in the conversation. And once you start meeting people and you start finding groups of other furries, like we've been saying, with similar interests, that's when it can take off and you can start building up a group of friends and people you know, and potentially people to date if that's something you're looking for.
Exactly. Fucking make plans to meet people at a convention if you can go. There's just a ridiculous amount of ways to meet people in this fandom without having to rely on sites like Furfling or Reddit, you know. Pounced is actually a pretty good website for meeting people, you know. I used to run a local furry group, and I met probably about a third of the people that ended up coming to the meetups via Pounced, just looking at, you know, who's in the area and sending them a message like, hey, you know, I'm getting a group of furs together at this day on this time at this place, seeing if you're interested in showing up, you know.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So, you know, there's, like I said, if you're in a city or, you know, close to a city, there's going to be local meetups that you can go to. You know, it's just, you got to look. You can't rely on a website to do everything for you.
Exactly.
It's just, it's not going to work.
Like, and you have to actually get out and do something. Like, yes, you can meet people through a screen, but my friendships have never been better than after I actually went to meets and hung out with people in person, or even more importantly, went to a convention and hung out with people in person. Is it kind of weird meeting up with these people you've talked to exclusively through a screen? Yeah.
Yeah, like Josh and I were friends for at least 2 years, I think, before we met in person.
I think longer than that. Like, I first started talking to you in 2011, and it wasn't until, like, I think 2016 that we actually got to hang out with each other in person.
Okay. So it was a little bit longer than I was thinking. But I ain't shit. We get along great, and fuck. No, we don't fuck. God damn it.
Oh, man. Jason would have a little bit something to say about that.
Yeah, she would have a problem with that. No, but
I mean, it was interesting. When you get to know people online really well, that's why I would encourage everybody to do both. Go to meets, go to conventions, and really try to engage people online, because there might be somebody who you meet who is, I don't know, literally an ocean away from another fucking country, who you end up getting along really well with online. And then, you know, I'm thinking specifically of Hunter, when I finally got to hang out with him at Anthrocon and see him in person. Of course, we already knew what each other looked like, because we'd seen each other in, like, voice chats and stuff.
no.
And when we finally got to meet in person for the first time, the cool thing was, and this was true with you as well, yes, it was the first time I'd ever actually physically been able to, like, you know, give them a hug or give them a fist bump or whatnot, or just see them with my own eyes. But it didn't feel like it was the first time I was actually getting to hang out with them, because I already...
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like I was seeing somebody I just hadn't seen in a very long time, like a family friend or something like that. So, get out there, socialize, fuck, who knows, maybe some random plucky son of a bitch from Wales is going to fly out to Pittsburgh just to hang out with you for a fucking weekend at some point. It could fucking happen. You can't sit there and hope that sites are going to do all the work for you. You've got to put in the fucking work a little bit, you know? Like Ed was fucking saying, don't sit there and expect the sites to do everything for you. But get engaged, get active, and just you'll see where it goes. It might take a while. It's not going to happen overnight either.
Oh, absolutely not. But it will happen if you put the work in. So, I think that is it for us tonight.
Yeah.
From the both of us here at BrainDeath. I'm drunk. I'm going the fuck to bed.
I'm trying to get drunk still, man. Like, goddamn.
God damn it.
Y'all
Y'all have a great night.
Still you feed us lies from the tablecloth. La 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 la. Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine.
Everybody's gone to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine. Blast off! It's party time! And we don't live in a fashion life.
Oh, yes, a mass out fish. That water real good.
Oh my fucking god, did that way too well. That was kind of scary.